Hi guys, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at Adobe and some other stocks. Before we begin, remember to take a second to give the video a like and subscribe as you greatly help our channel. Without further ado, let's first start off with Adobe. So from a recent low of around 255 in March 2020 to a recent high of 699 or around $700, you can see that 38.2% was really broken down. So we are essentially at our last support at 23.6% at 360. You can see that 360 held for pretty while, except for this particular day when it hit a low of 338. So in the event that 360 were to break down, then we're likely to test the $300 psychological support level before retesting the lows of 255 if the downtrend were to persist. And let's take a look at the closer resistance, the recent resistance. So we are the recent low of 338 and a recent high of 42. So you can clearly see that 50% at 390 has been a very stubborn resistance. We got rejected off once, twice, and even seems like it's being rejected off this time. So this rate baseline here, I think has a very strong resistance. It's around 387, 390 levels. Or this blue conversion line is acting as a very strong support at around 376. So it seems to be tight ranging now. So if we can break out above 390, that would be good. Then the $400 psychological resistance level at 402 would be a difficult one for us to break through before retesting 420 and even 442. That said, there is also a lot of cloud resistance here. So do expect some rejection off here when the price were to go these levels. A key support to not break down would be this blue conversion line. It's around 375. If you were to start breaking down, then potentially we may go back to 360 and even 338 as a potential support. Let's move on to ACN. So for ACN, on the bigger picture, you can see that it's holding pretty well. 50% at 277 has already been very much like broken. And the next support we're looking at is 244 and even potentially $200 psychological support levels. You can see that 244, there's a lot of more supports and buyers coming in. So that is a good sign if in the event we were to fall to those levels. Let's take a look at the closer view of this particular stock. So from a recent low of 261 to a recent high of 301, you can see that we are still quite far away and we only very much hit 261 just about 3 days ago. So we still have a lot of room to climb, and looking at the first key resistance to clear would be this red baseline at around 282, which is around this 50% Fibonacci resistance level. So we have to clear 276, 282, and even 286. If we can clear 286, then we're likely to turn bullish, potentially testing 292, or even potentially going above to retest the high of $300 psychological resistance. So that is a good sign if we can clear all this resistance. If not, then we may just potentially hit up to the cloud's resistance level and fall further down to perhaps 244 levels. Lastly, let's move on to CRM. So CRM, looking at the long support levels, you can see that 161 is essentially already being tested and already broken down. So the next support level to watch would be 115, which is still pretty far away. So looking at the near resistance, you can see that from a recent low of 157 to a recent high of around 186. Just yesterday, we rejected off this 50% Fibonacci at 172. So you can see that this is quite a very bearish looking candle. So the next key resistance to watch would be this red baseline here at around 175 at 61.8%. So if we can clear it, then that is a good sign. We can hit to 180 or even potentially retesting 186 as well. That said, there is a lot of cloud resistance at around 175 to 180 levels. So do bear in mind that we may face a lot of rejection here. Similar situation to this as well as this as well. So a similar situation, you can come here to create a this high here. So this is a lower high. So there's a chance for us to create a lower high before going back down to create a lower low. So yeah, just bear in mind that. So hopefully you find this useful, and if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.